the best in the world.
What I'd like to have right now.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Because I was right when I was cool.
Are you ready?
It doesn't matter!
Oh, I said, are you ready?
I'm a sexy beast, baby! I was up all night!
And I'm
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the For Life Podcast. Returning this time into the new year. I'm one half of your co-host, Cheyenne Ortiz, being joined as always by my other co-host,
the Big Bosch Man.
Fantastic. I feel somewhat better now. Yeah, let's talk about the last Raw of the new year before we get into the new year. This is the one that we both missed.
Yeah, we were both at the house show at the Garden. Pretty good seats, I would say, for what we paid.
Very good
an hour
seats.
before
Very
the
good
show.
seats.
Yeah,
that's right.
We were able to wave at John Cena, and the camera caught us on, I guess, the one they posted on social media.
Yeah, from that angle.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the show we attended, I thought it was a pretty fun show. I enjoyed the tag team turmoil. I mean, it was pretty much like a preview of SmackDown.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that, because as I pulled up the SmackDown results, incidentally, I saw it, and I was like, oh, they probably got ready.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, I remember that happening last year when Cena came back and faced Alberto before he came back and faced him at Raw. It was
correct.
Pretty similar.
This Raw was in Chicago.
Yes.
And the talk of the town from that night was the Stephanie McMahon promo.
Yeah.
Where when Stephanie came out, they were chanting CM Punk, and Stephanie cut them up and said, if you do that for 2 minutes and 15 seconds longer, then they'll last 1 second longer than Punk did.
Uh-huh.
And that was it. The chant stopped. But
I love Stephanie. She's the best at getting the Chicago crowd to shut up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think she did the right thing totally. This opened up with a segment, and it opened up with New Day against Sheamus and Cesaro. I guess you could say a tag team rematch stipulation being invoked.
Yeah.
Sheamus and Cesaro came back on top. We then go to more segments, one featuring Strowman, Jericho, and Owens. The next segment, however, caused a little bit of controversy. It featured R-Truth, Goldust, and Bayley.
Oh, the doll.
Correct. Where Bayley had a teddy bear dressed up like Dusty Rhodes that she was going to present to Goldust.
Yeah.
And, Gallows and Anderson come in, cut them off, and Anderson tears the head of the teddy bear off.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I thought it was. I mean, I'm usually not a fan of death angles like that. I mean, you know how I wasn't a fan of when they did it to Eddie, or when I don't know. I'm just not a fan of bringing death and mocking death in storylines.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how. I mean, how did you? I mean, I know you grew up as a big NWA fan, so I'm sure you probably felt the same way.
Yeah, when I thought it
wasn't necessary, and it led to like a job match later in the show, and that was it.
I haven't even gotten that far yet.
Yeah.
I literally know nothing about this Raw.
I remember like skimming through the Raw and stopping on that, and I was like, oh, that's a really sweet moment. And then he came out and tore the head off the bear. I was like, okay, that was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those, like, you just kind of, like, instead of getting heel heat, you kind of just groan, like, oh, really?
Yeah, like you had to go there. I thought it was cheap.
With the Eddie Guerrero stuff, it's like, he's in hell. Oh okay.
I just think it's cheap. It's uncalled for. Believe it or not, the Eddie thing, I felt like they were just doing that to kind of get Ray up, so I understood that. Versus this had no meaning behind it.
Yeah, it was.
If something's done right, you can at least kind of go, well, they're doing it for this and that.
And it led to Ray winning the belt, and I mean, there was kind of the payoff where he won the belt.
Right.
Yeah.
Then we go to Nia Jax versus Scarlett Bordeaux. She's extremely hot. Well, both of them are. But Nia Jax wins in a squash. This is the build, for Charlotte and for Sasha and Nia Jax. Mm-hmm. Backstage segment with Charlotte and Stephanie. They talk. She leaves. Foley comes in, and then Jericho and Owens want to form a complaint about Jericho being in the shark cage.
Yeah.
This leads to Owens and Reigns fighting in the main event of that Raw, which a lot of people were upset about because they're going to fight at the Rumble.
I feel like we get a combination of those four every week. Between those Jericho, Owens, Rollins, and Roman, I think they already announced for this week. Yes, but
we've already seen them. We've already seen Owens and Reigns work twice on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, And they're going to work the pay-per-view.
Which I understand why people are upset about that. So, I mean, the good thing is, the only thing I can say that's good about that, because I know Owens and I know Reigns, the match they're going to have at the Rumble will probably be their best one.
Yeah.
Because I did say on this show and to you in text when they first worked Monday Night Raw that they had a nice little TV match, and they were probably saving everything for the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So I still think that, but at the same time, I wouldn't really, do it.
Yeah.
They did Bayley versus Charlotte with Dana Brooke as the referee. It was a Chicago Triol screw job as Charlotte got the pin on Bayley with her feet on the ropes.
And Dana looked amazing in that referee outfit.
Yes, she friggin' did. Braun demands a last man standing match.
She should just be a referee for the women's matches moving forward. Cause
I still say they should have a women's referee for the women's division. Yeah. Just saying. Then they did Neville and Perkins. Neville gets the win. Thank the Lord. Hallelujah. Enzo and Cass segment against Jinder Mahal and Rusev. Shining Stars versus Bo Dallas and Darren Young. So Bo is a face now?
They did that sensitivity training the week before.
Got it. This comes out with Strowman coming out and destroying everybody, leading into Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. By the DQ, Strowman gets the win due to interference from Sami Zayn. Anderson and Gallows versus The Truth and Goldust. Anderson and Gallows get the win. Daivari, Rich Swann gets the win. We get a 205 interview. More with Daivari and Gallagher. Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens. Roman Reigns gets the win. Questions, comments, concerns before I go into SmackDown?
I mean, I kind of skimmed through that, Raw, so I really, outside of the teddy bear and the Stephanie comment, I really don't remember much else. I guess we can move forward.
All right.
I thought SmackDown was way better that week, and so did a lot of other people.
Well, which brings us to SmackDown, which they started out hot right with John Cena.
Yeah.
John Cena came out to a tremendous reaction from the crowd. He asked them to let it rain, basically to give them everything that they had.
Yeah.
They did the CM Punk chants.
But he played it off as they were chanting Cena sucks.
Yeah, he deviated it. Very, very smart. He made his intentions apparent that he was going for the title, and whoever won the main event that night, we're going to be facing him at the Royal Rumble. Yeah. I thought it was a strong, poignant, classic John Cena promo in the sense of nobody delivers like him and nobody sells a pay-per-view like him. Definitely. And if you don't believe me, go back to the Slammy pay-per-view promo he did for that TLC that year. The main event for this show is AJ Styles, Corbin, and Ziggler for the WWE title. We open up with the tag match, a four corners tag team matchup, similar to what we saw at the Garden. It was Slater and Rhino versus the Wyatts versus the Usos versus American Alpha. This resulted in American Alpha getting the win over the Wyatt KO family.
Which was really surprising.
Big shocker. Yeah, big shocker. I thought it was great. What do you think?
I was surprised. I mean, I thought I wasn't expecting it. Like, I don't know if you also think that it might have been too soon.
I think it would have been soon. I would have let the Wyatt hold on to it for a while, but for a little bit. But I'm not like, oh my God.
It was too soon to put it on the American Alpha, and it was too soon to take it off the Wyatts.
Yeah, that's the best explanation possible.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. What else do we have here?
Alexa and Becky.
Correct. This is where Becky Lynch broke her arm or dislocated during the matchup. Thanks to a distraction from La Luchadora. Bliss was able to get the win off of DDT. They're selling the whole Luchadora angle. Miz and Renee are talking to, Miz and Maurice are talking to Renee.
Yeah.
Ambrose is dressed up in a security guard outfit and beats the crap out of Miz. You can tell the show is 2 hours because I'm already in the main event. Plus, the main event looks to have gotten a lot of time.
Yeah. I think that's what makes it a better show. It's so that it is 2 hours and it's
Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, AJ Styles. I saw parts of this match on YouTube. I haven't had the chance to watch it in its entirety yet, but I saw kind of like a highlight reel.
Yeah.
Plus the spots that WWE's YouTube put up. I thought it was a great match. I thought they were smart by ending their show with this. I thought it was a stellar performance from all of these guys, and I think Baron Corbin was the standout.
Oh, definitely.
The best spot was Corbin hit AJ with the deep six, and Ziggler came from behind, hit the zigzag. Great shot.
Yeah, that was
great spot. Innovative, creative, and then it's credibility to all three competitors, especially Corbin and Ziggler. AJ gets the win, and then Cena comes out. We get the handshake and the stare down. I loved it. It's no surprise to me because you open up with a hot tag team match because the tag match got a lot of time because it was 4 teams.
Yeah.
And then you closed it. They pretty much had all the belts on the line, number one.
It was kind of like a Night of Champions.
Correct.
With the
They had
IC
all their
title for the following week.
Yep. They had all their titles on the line pretty much, and they were all stellar matches, including the women, and the opener and the closer, phenomenal matches. I can totally understand why SmackDown beat Raw in the ratings to end the year. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Same thing. I watched that show live. It flew by. It didn't drag. I thought it was a great show. I thought all three matches were really good. I liked that everything that they pretty much advertised everything going into that show, which was Cena's return in those 3 title matches.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it wasn't like Raw where it's like, oh god, is this over? Or it wasn't repetitive in any way. It was just they had. I mean, even though we've done Alexa and Becky already, but it was a pretty good match, and even the other 2 multi-team and multi-man matches were also really fresh.
Yeah,
so I really enjoyed it.
I agree, and that takes us into us being at the holiday show. It was a SmackDown themed show. This is why we missed Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
They opened up with a tag team turmoil match, where basically teams would compete until a team was eliminated, and then a new team would follow. The opening team was Slater and Rhino.
Yeah.
They took on the Ascension. I thought the Ascension worked phenomenal. It was great to see them live. It was great to see them in general. Rhino and Slater got the win. This allowed the Usos to come out. They got the elimination a few minutes later over Slater and Rhino. Quick elimination on Breezango by the Usos. This then led to Orton and Wyatt coming out to a pop. They had a great showing, back and forth, more time than I thought the Usos would get with Orton and Wyatt.
Yeah.
Boom, they get eliminated. This then turns to Gable and Jason Jordan. And after help from Luke Harper, RKO out of nowhere. Alexa Bliss over Becky Lynch. I thought it was a good match, better than I thought it was going to be. Cruz, Swagger, Mojo against Hawkins and the Vaudevillains. I personally was not into this match all that much.
I completely forgot about it, so you just mentioned it.
I really wasn't into it, and believe it or not, it was really because of the Vaudevillains. Because I'm just not, I'm not into them. It's not a bad thing. They're great workers. They're very nice guys. It's just something I just kind of, I just tune out. But they're awesome workers, very nice guys. After the match, Hawkins issued an open challenge. Everybody thought Kane was coming out, and it was James Ellsworth who super kicked Hawkins at 20 seconds?
Yeah.
Less than that. Pre-main, before the intermission, was Ziggler and The Miz in a steel cage match. I think you should talk about this match first before I do.
First of all, I was upset that the match was non-title.
Agreed.
Well, I mean, I think it kind of gave. I mean, any title match on a house show, you pretty much guarantee it's not going to change hands. So by making it non-title, kind of also gave away the finish was that Ziggler was going to win.
That part I disagree with. I think because it was non-title, it kind of just like, oh well, maybe Miz will win and just brag about it. I don't think that affected the outcome.
Yeah.
In your psyche.
I mean,
that's just me.
I thought it was a fine match, but compared to a lot of the other matches they've had recently, it didn't it didn't live up to that standard as far as like the matches they've had over the last few months.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, if you were on Bosch's Snap or Instagram, then you saw that I really wasn't into that one. They kind of tuned me out.
Yeah.
There was
compared to
a lot of botch spots
compared to the
beginning.
ladder match, the match they had on SmackDown when Miz won the belt back. I missed the retirement match where Ziggler would have retired if he lost. That was the one at No Mercy.
A lot of people said that was a match of the year.
And I heard that was the best match. I think I wish I would have gone back to watch that and the No Mercy show. I mean, I missed the No Mercy show when I was going on vacation, and I never went back and watched this. But I should have gone back and maybe watched that match. But I mean, they've had really good matches, and I thought it didn't live up to all the matches that the 10 matches I've seen them have already.
Yeah.
So that was just my opinion.
There was a lot of botch spots in the beginning. I'm old school. I grew up with the cage.
Yeah.
The cage was like the be-all, end-all from our era.
And compared to the cage match we saw a few years ago at the Garden with Cody.
Oh, yeah, with the tag one. Phenomenal.
Cody and Goldust versus Swagger and Cesaro. That was an amazing match. And I thought, compared to that, it wasn't up there. But
yeah, it wasn't. Ziggler over Nikki Bella and Carmella. Way better match than I thought it was going to be.
It was actually Nikki Bella and Natty.
Oh, yes, Natty, because I don't know why here it says Carmella.
I remember finding results the following day, and it said Carmella. I don't know why they thought it was Carmella. But it was Natty, and Carmella came out for a distraction. Nikki knocked her off.
Yes.
Or Nikki threw Natty into her and then hit her with the rack attack.
Corbin Kalisto was a better match than I thought it was going to be. I'm a huge Baron Corbin fan.
Their chairs match was actually really good at TLC.
Yes, I saw that also. Somebody gave a more detailed report. Okay, that's why I got confused. And then it was John Cena's return, and it was a triple threat match main event. It was AJ Styles defending a title against Dean Ambrose and John Cena. Yeah. All three huge, massive pops.
Yeah.
Cena got the biggest one, except it was mixed like always. I think Ambrose got like the cleanest pop.
It's usually not as mixed at house shows because there's more kids.
Yeah.
Especially the post holiday house show is always a lot of kids because they don't have school the following day.
Yeah. I thought it was a good match. I know some people said they pretty much did the 3-way that they did at the pay-per-view.
I mean, like I said, I missed No Mercy, so I didn't see that 3-way. That was the one where they opened the show.
Yeah. I just thought the ending was flat, personally.
Yeah.
But overall, the match was good. Mm-hmm. Well, what about you?
Same. I wasn't very happy with the ending. It was It was AJ hitting Dean with the chair.
AJ came in and hit Cena with the chair in the midsection.
Okay.
Then clocked Ambrose. Then clocked Cena across the back, and then hit a small package on Ambrose.
Yeah.
And then, Ambrose hit the Dirty Deeds, and then Cena hit the AA and sent everybody home happy. No John Cena Madison Square Garden promo either, which is kind of like tradition at those shows.
Yeah, unless he was saving it because he knew he would be on SmackDown making his big return.
Yeah. So that was it. That was how we pretty much closed the year wrestling-wise. Before we get into our awards, let's take you to this past week's Monday Night Raw. Mm-hmm. The first Raw of 2017. This one emanated from Tampa, the region of Tampa. Foley comes out with the new haircut and all that stuff, and we get another great Foley Owens Jericho segment to open up the show. Mm-hmm. This turns into Reigns and Jericho, and if Reigns got counted out or DQ'd, he still lost the title.
Yeah.
And then we also had Rollins and Owens for the evening. Rollins and Owens kicked off the show. Rollins won by DQ because Owens nailed him with the ring bell blatantly. Mm-hmm. But Owens would be banned from ringside due to these actions. Cesaro versus Carl Anderson. It was quick, but I thought it was a great match. I thought it was a great way for WWE fans to see how good Carl Anderson is.
Yeah.
Because I've known him as Machine Gun since, he was in PWG.
Yeah.
So I thought that was great. I thought it was a little bit at times of a Cesaro showcase, but it was still cool to see Anderson in a one-on-one match personally. Then we have the last man standing match, Sami Zayn and Braun Strowman. In my eyes, match of the night. Bosch?
Definitely match of the night, and probably the best match Strowman has had so far in his career.
I agree. I think he proved himself. I think that proved to any and everybody that Braun Strowman can take on anybody in the company.
Yeah.
And I mean anybody. Don't care what anyone says. And I think it's a testament to Sami Zayn and his toughness. And I don't think it's the end of the world that he lost, like a lot of people were saying on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts?
I agree as well.
Okay.
I thought Sammy also looked good in that match.
Yeah.
Considering
showed a lot of heart.
Yeah.
The Gentleman's Duel video package was shown. New Day and Titus O'Neil had a extremely hilarious segment.
I would say the best mic work Titus has ever had in his career in the 5 years he's been in the company.
Without question.
Considering he's always been horrible on the mic, I thought he was hilarious, and I thought that was the first time I was actually entertained by a Titus promo.
Yeah. The New Day announced that they're entering the Royal Rumble. Xavier Woods gets the win via roll-up.
Yeah.
There's some banter between Stephanie and Bayley. Bayley says that she's going to prove Stephanie wrong. Mm-hmm. Bayley then takes on Nia Jax, where the winner faces Charlotte at the Alamo Dome at the Royal Rumble. We have Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak. Gulak gets the win with some help from Tony Nese. Jericho and Roman Reigns in a match that I thought was way better than I thought it was going to be. And if they didn't have Strowman and Zayn on, that would have been match of the night. Yeah. Your thoughts?
I'm having trouble remembering much from the match, but I know Roman won
the Eddie Guerrero spot at the end.
Yeah,
the Eddie spot at the end. Yeah.
I mean, they keep teasing
Jericho.
it. They keep teasing you to think that Jericho's going to win that U.S. title, and Roman always ends up winning clean.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard that. I think I read on Twitter that Roman is defending the U.S. title against both Owens and Jericho on Monday.
They announced it on the WWE app, actually.
Okay. So is that handicap or triple threat?
Handicap.
Okay.
Yeah. Kendrick versus Perkins one-on-one.
Finally changing hands?
I do see Jericho. If Jericho is going to get it, it's this one. I never thought Jericho was going to win it after the first one.
Okay.
And the first one only made me think he was going to win it because of how he really got closer and closer. Mm-hmm. But I knew he wasn't going to win this past week.
Okay.
If Jericho wins, it's going to be on this one.
All right. Yeah.
Perkins versus Brian Kendrick. Perkins gets the win. Enzo and Cass versus Jinder Mahal and Rusev. Mahal and Rusev get the win. Nia Jax Bayley with some help from Sasha Banks. Bayley hits a super Bayley plex and gets the job done. Now we get the first ever Kevin Owens show. Bosch, take it away.
Thought it was an interesting set. I mean, I feel like they kind of stopped the heavy teasing of the split for a while, and this week they really bumped it up as far as Jericho announcing that he was going to be in the Royal Rumble, and now Owens is concerned as to what would happen if he won, and then Goldberg came out, and there was just a lot of back and forth banter between them. Leading to Reigns coming out, and then Braun coming out. I mean, they teased the face-off with Roman and Goldberg, and then they both ended up spearing Braun.
Yep.
I'm still indifferent about the whole spear to Braun because he just had match of his career and he looked great, and then he got speared. But then also the fact that it took...
I was going to say, it took two men.
It took Roman and Goldberg, who are like the two supermen in the company right now, to take him down.
Yes.
So I think that kind of...
Which is the logic that I'm leaning with.
That's why I'm not too upset about it, where it still made him look strong, where it was like, okay, you needed these two monsters to take out this big-ass monster. But I'm still not sure. I mean, having Roman involved in that, I mean, the way it came across was like he was in the Rumble too, but he's not.
Right, that was the other thing.
I think a lot of people forgot, because I think a few of the podcasts or a few of the stuff that I've read or heard this week, people are talking about Roman like he's in the Rumble. And it's like, I think people are forgetting that the title match is him and Owens, because the focus has been Owens and Jericho.
Right.
So I think Roman is kind of an afterthought, and people are under the I think some people forget that Owens and Roman is the match because of his involvement in that section.
Right.
In that segment.
I 2000% agree with you. Mm-hmm. I do. And that was how Raw ended. I real quickly want to touch on Cena's comeback. I thought he had a phenomenal promo. I thought he had a great showing. And I look forward to the match with AJ at the Rumble.
I thought he had an even better promo on SmackDown this week.
Yeah, which a lot of people were telling me to check out. Mm-hmm. Let's talk very briefly, what we can, or at least mention it, Wrestle Kingdom. Wrestle Kingdom happened this past weekend. I heard it was a phenomenal show overall.
Yeah.
But I heard that Kenny Omega and he took on Okada, right?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't finished watching the match yet, so I'll probably watch it this week and comment.
I heard they did 45, 50 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty long. I think because my friend let me use his account to watch the show, so by the point that the match was finally on, I was kind of exhausted. So I was like,
by the way, if you ever watch a Wrestle Kingdom, they're 3 to 5 hours long. Just know that.
Over 5.
Oh, over 5. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're long shows, but I do recommend everybody watch it.
I always loved their pre-show battle royal. Like last year they had Haku in there, and this year there was Billy Gunn and Scott Norton, so I always mark out for all those old names appearing.
Yeah, but I do implore that everybody watches that show. Mm-hmm. People are saying that Kenny Omega and Okada had the best match of 2017, and we're only 3 weeks in. So I highly recommend everybody watch that and tell me.
Well,
but people are also saying Kenny Omega for the Rumble. Your thoughts, Bosch?
I'm not sure.
I personally don't think it's happening.
I don't think so either. I don't think he's. I mean, he had that great match, but I don't think name caliber wise, I don't think he's at the level of AJ to get the pop that AJ got.
I agree.
I see, because AJ was in TNA for over a decade, so I think that gave him the exposure, and they were in Orlando, which is where TNA is based out of.
Yeah.
So I don't see Omega making a surprise. I know Cena supposedly. I haven't seen Cena's Instagram, but he supposedly posted a picture of this guy, of Kenny Omega.
Yes, and everyone's saying, he did that to AJ. Around. Yeah, everyone's saying that since he did that to AJ last year, it's going to happen with Kenny. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. TNA under new management officially. Dixie Carter now only has 5% of the company, and they recently brought back both Jeff Jarrett and Dutch Mantel, aka Zeb Coulter, to help with the business and creative proceedings. Bosch?
I mean, that was probably one of their best periods was when those two weren't running things. So
Correct.
That's a good sign, I would say.
I agree. We're going to take a commercial break right now.
All right.
But, ladies and gentlemen, for lifers, when we come back, we're going to do our annual end of the year awards. It's going to be something. It's going to be something to listen to. It's going to be a happening. So when we come back, the For Life end of the year awards.
Hey, For Life listeners, this is The Cap here with Mike the Finance Guy and Ralph the Tech, inviting you to check out our Geektastic podcast, Meanwhile 22 Pages Later.
So if you're a Whovian, a lover of capes and tights, a gamer, or a TV movie watcher, and you want some very honest reviews from some very funny guys,
check out our podcast. It's on iTunes and also on SoundCloud. And if you want to join in the discussion, check out our Facebook page. Oh, and by the way, that 22 is the number.
Now, back to Bosch and Cheyenne.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the For Life podcast. This is our end of the year rewards, our year in review, also known as our For Life podcast Slammies, if you will. And before we get into that, however, and before we introduce to you some of the categories, Bosch, if somebody wanted to pick out some nifty For Life podcast merchandise, where would they go about doing that?
You can go to www.redbubble.com/people/4lifepodcast, where we have 2 new shirts designed by our friend
Kayfabe Cover Kingdom. That's his new page.
Yeah. He made 2 awesome designs, and right away I wanted to put them on t-shirts. So it's the old school Coliseum video logo, and my favorite, the NWA Saturday Night logo with the For Life podcast. So
phenomenal, man. That I mark out one.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. So
yeah,
I already ordered stickers to throw on my laptop. Once
I saw the stickers, okay, I'm in the I'm in the right mind there, because I saw the stickers and I was like, I think I want them.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're like $2 each, and if you get 6 or more, they're 50% off. So then, if you get 6 or more, they're $1 each.
Yeah.
So my laptop is covered with all of our stickers, with its fucking Nikki and Paige. But yeah. So I'm gonna start this award show now.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna start at the bottom of the list with. I'm gonna start with Best on the Mic.
Oh, okay. So let me go.
Each category will have in WWE and out of WWE. Unlike last year, where I tried to do every single organization in the world, and that was just a big mess. So we're just keeping it in WWE, and in WWE means WWE/NXT under WWE contract.
Okay.
So, as far as Best on the Mic, do you have here, guys?
Best on the mic. Hold on, because since we're going backwards, I gotta hold on.
Well, while you're looking, I'm gonna throw mine out there.
Yes. Go ahead.
You want to do in or out of WWE first?
I can always name the out of WWE people off the top of my head, because WWE is always a tougher one. I don't have Best Mic on this text message. What are you?
That was the second batch I sent with Best on the Mic.
Oh, then I gotta write more people. Yes, I see it now. All right,
so let's do the. You want to work on something else then while you figure those out?
Yeah, no. Just
right.
Start from the top and buy me some time and give a nice detailed explanation. I should have enough time by then.
For Best on the Mic?
Yeah, just start from the top, and these last 4, I'll write them right now.
Okay. Best on the Mic outside of WWE. I can't think of anybody else that's best on the mic that sells pay-per-views, that makes people pay to want to see him.
That's a big build-up just to say it to me, Bosch, but go ahead.
And it is Conor McGregor.
Wow, okay.
I mean, Is there anybody better than him on the mic outside of WWE or in
Outside
WWE?
of... Oh, wow.
I mean, I know it's not wrestling, but I can't think of anybody that's on his level as far as best promos and best on the mic.
Nope, I think you got something there.
All right. As far as WWE, I'm going with a tie. It's a duo that
Okay.
constantly entertain me every week on Raw. They're hilarious. They
Okay.
have great chemistry, and there's also a list involved. So I went with Jericho for my best on the mic.
Okay.
I mean, I couldn't go with one and not the other, so I put them in as a group.
Okay. Fair enough. For the mic one, believe it or not, outside of WWE, do you want to guess what mine is?
What company are they in?
I'm not going to say because then it will be obvious.
Well, then how the hell am I supposed to guess?
Well, because if I say the company, you're going to know automatically.
Is it Ace?
No. I didn't go with
Okay,
any of these stuff. Even though for gimmick, I am going to go with someone from Ace.
Okay, I did choose something from Ace too. TNA?
Yes.
Matt Hardy?
Absolutely.
All right.
How can it not be Matt Hardy for best on the mic outside of the WWE? He is completely entertaining, shocking, outlandish, and downright amazing. This is the best year of Matt Hardy's career, and I think he is the personification of best on the mic. Look at everything he's done this year. He's entertained, drawn attraction, and delivered all through his creativity, his words, and his outlandishness. Matt Hardy, hands down. For WWE, to me, this was in fact a no-brainer. For the WWE, I had to go with the one choice. That is the choice, and that is the Queen. And not just the Queen of my heart, not just the Queen of the ring, but the Queen of pay-per-view, the Queen of the women's division, and that is Charlotte. Why must you ask? I'll tell you exactly why. Because Charlotte is the definition of what a promo is supposed to be, to invoke a reaction from the fans at any given moment from anywhere that comes out of her mouth. Charlotte has, in fact, delivered the best promos all year round. Thank you.
All right. I can't argue with either of those two choices.
Yep, that's it. And I'm going to take more advantage because I don't have Gigi arguing me this year. That's right. I said it. I'm talking to you. I'm calling you out. You took your ball. You went home. You didn't want to argue with me this year. I'm going to take complete advantage. I know I'm right.
All right. Best character gimmick. I'll let you lead this one.
There is no gimmicks in wrestling, first of all.
Or best character.
There really isn't anymore. It's a lost art, I feel. But outside of the WWE, I got to go with my man, Prince Akanine. I really do. Outside of the WWE, I got to go with my man, Prince Akanine. He's entertaining as heck inside and outside of the ring. If he's on a show, he's going to promote and plug and get as much attention to it as possible for both himself and for the company. And in the ring, there's times where he doesn't have to do a single move. Anything that comes out of his mouth can steal a show. Prince Akanine, best gimmick outside of WWE. Believe it or not, I have something on the indies, believe it or not. Or non-WWE, I'm going to go Dalton Castle. That androgynous, mysterious sexuality gimmick that he does, I think that's incredible.
Okay.
And in terms of WWE gimmicks, and I feel like because it's one of the last gimmicks, and you think about the TV time that he did have this year, Goldust.
Goldust? Okay.
Yeah. What do you got?
All right, we're going with the first two-time winner of the night. I'm going with, outside of WWE, Broken Matt Hardy.
Delete! 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 Delete!
Okay.
And in WWE, despite his time being so short because of an injury, I would say Finn Balor.
Okay.
Just because he brings, I mean, as far as like carrying that mystique that Taker had, I think he can carry that in the new year once he's healed. Might be in a few weeks, but you never know.
I agree.
Best entrance.
Well, now
I think we might. This might be the first one we agree on.
I absolutely agree. Should we say it on 3?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Bobby Roode.
Absolutely. Bosch, why did you go with that? Glorious. Absolutely.
And I'm sure Gigi would have said the same thing because she was telling me last night and singing the song as always.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought his Brooklyn entrance was amazing, and then I thought the Toronto one blew it out of the water.
Absolutely. It made me want to see what he does in San Antonio. Bobby Roode right now.
I mean that's gonna be fun because if anything, close second would be Nakamura.
Yeah.
And those two are probably gonna have like the best. Those two entrances are probably gonna top anything at Mania.
Yeah. So Bobby Roode hands down. The next award now.
Well, for outside of WWE, this seems to be following a pattern where you choose somebody and I choose them in the next category, Dalton Castle.
Oh, really? Okay, that's a fair one.
Yeah.
That's a fair one. Outside of WWE, gun to my head because to me there was just Bobby Roode and nobody else. Mm-hmm. But outside of WWE, just in general, pretty much any Bullet Club member.
Bullet Club for
this whole year. If you look at the Bucks or Omega, or if you look at Tama Tonga when he does the team thing, any of the new Bullet Club members when they do a big show in Japan, the entrances are just spectacular. They've always been in Japan. All right. Next one up is Surprise of the Year. You first.
In WWE, I would say the brand split because I didn't see that. I mean, maybe when Shane came in, but if you would have asked me a year ago, I wouldn't have expected another brand split considering we just finished it not too long ago.
Right.
I mean, it's resulted in me watching SmackDown every week probably more religiously than I would Raw.
Yeah, which should have been the goal. So
yeah, I would say outside of WWE, it would be the defections from New Japan at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, and there were quite a few.
Yeah.
In WWE, believe it or not, I have to go with the fact that AJ Styles is there.
Okay.
It's pretty surreal, and if you're a wrestling fan, it was like the forbidden fruit. It was one of those things that we were never going to get. Mm-hmm. You know, we never thought we were going to get WWE versus TNA. Yeah. And him being there really was as close as we were going to get to that.
Well, I mean, now that you have a lot of guys from TNA in there.
Well, absolutely, but AJ was
TNA.
AJ was TNA.
Yeah, he was he was the Sting of TNA.
Yeah, so I think having him there was totally surreal. Outside of WWE, the fact that TNA didn't go out of business.
Okay.
I'm not saying that in the sense of shitting on them or not want it to happen, because TNA has supposed to have gone out of business for 15 years now. Let's keep that straight.
Yeah.
Okay? I really thought this year was going to happen because things were really, really bad. I'm glad that they were able to make it again. I hope this new deal, this new leadership, and this new brand allows them to deviate otherwise.
Okay.
That's just me.
The you fucked up moment of the year, I'm going to go with my outside of WWE and say the whole mess with TNA and Billy Corgan.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
And in WWE, I would say Ambrose and Lesnar at Mania.
Yeah, that was a pretty...
Just because nobody came out of that looking good.
Yeah, I agree. To be honest with you, I couldn't really pick one, and then I picked one just because, and that was the Miz Dolph Cage match at MSG. But I feel like that's not even worth anything. Yeah. So I'm just going to put it as I don't have a pick.
Okay. Comeback of the year.
Comeback of the... Oh, I must have... Yeah, I did skip one. Comeback of the year. I guess I'll go with...
And his name is John Cena!
Who else came back this year?
I would say Goldberg.
Oh, yeah, him too.
Surprising because I'm not the biggest Goldberg fan, but I actually, after this year, I kind of am. And I would say...
Totally spaced. Yeah, Goldberg.
I would say Broken Matt Hardy. as far as outside of WWE, as far as like his career making a comeback.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go with those same exact two choices.
All right, so we agree on those.
Yes.
Best NXT call-up, I would say.
Finn Balor.
Okay, I mean he only had 2 matches.
Finn Balor.
I would say as far as consistent, I would say Baron Corbin.
But wait, was that?
He was called up this year. He was called up at Mania.
That's right. He won the Memorial in Dallas, right?
He won the Andre Battle Royal.
Oh, Baron Corbin. Never mind. Screw that. Baron Corbin.
He won the Andre, and then he finished the year challenging for the belt. He finished the year challenging for the belt.
I thought he won the year before. I'm so sorry. Baron Corbin, hands down, without question. Finn Balor was just like an hour. Yep, Baron Corbin.
Favorite match you witnessed live?
Oh, man.
And I had 2, and I decided to go with 1 for match of the year, and this one, just because I felt I was more up close for this one, and they fought right behind me, I would say Roman Reigns and AJ Styles at Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
That was a fun match just because I felt like I was part of it.
Yeah. For me, it had to be the Revival versus DIY.
Okay.
At TakeOver 2.
Outside of WWE, despite all the indie shows I've been to this year, as far as the one match outside of WWE that had me emotionally invested, that I thoroughly enjoyed from beginning to end, and put aside the fact that they're both friends of mine, I would say is Jamal Jackson and FNB at the Mikey Memorial Show.
Yep. That's actually, yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually exactly the same thing I had to do.
Yeah.
It sucks because, and we talked about this last night, and I don't think I mentioned this on the show because we were on hiatus because I was acting like a bitch. But it's the best commentary I've ever done, and we'll never hear it because the commentary, unfortunately, went to shit.
Oh, that sucks.
For me, I feel like that whole show, top to bottom, especially the main event, was the best commentary performance I've ever done, ever.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask anybody, Bosch will back me up on this. I never say that.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate because for reasons that basically nobody pressed record on our audio. So that's one of the reasons why, as we're releasing DVDs, that one has not been released because we have to do the commentary in post.
But then it's not going to be the same as the.
Yeah, I can't do that again.
Yeah.
I can't. But yeah, hands down, outside the review, that was the one.
Yeah.
That was the one. Honorable mentions. Are there any other great matches you want to just shout out?
There were a lot of Evolve shows, and I went to the Ring of Honor Field of Honor show. I would say like the little show that they put together at the Legends Fan Fest was fun, just because the fans were really old school there, so they would boo the heels and cheer the faces, even though we were hanging out with them all weekend. Like they were booing George South, they were booing Bobby Fulton, Ricky Morton got Crazy Pop, and so I thought that was fun to experience an old school show like that, where they weren't like just being smarky for the fuck of it and trying to get themselves over. Yeah. But also, I thought it was cool seeing some of those the qualifying matches for the CWC and
because you just went to the Evolve show.
Yeah, and then also T.J. Perkins and Johnny Gargano's last night in Evolve. I thought was pretty good, pretty cool. Yeah.
Just some honorable stuff for Ace. I got to see Mikey Webb and Donovan Dijak take on the Down Boys. Phenomenal tag team match. I got to see TJ and Sonny at the Mike Morgan Jr. Memorial Show. Great. Another good one was Sake versus Mike Orlando versus Sonny in a three-way. That was another great match. Mike Donovan had a one-on-one with Jesse Vane. That was great because I love Donovan. Pain in the ass, but I love him.
I thought the chain match. The dog collar match. Ricky Reyes and Anthony Gangone was also really good.
Reyes and Anthony Gangone was really, really good.
I only went to 2 shows, so that's not much for me to choose from.
There were a lot of stellar matches this year. I feel like the first half of the Fight matches from January to pretty much March were great. And then once Donovan got the Fight title, it was,
Yeah.
you know, it was just stellar.
And I did see
Rob
I saw
Vegas
this.
versus Azrael was great.
I saw a mixed tag match on one of the overdrives. It was Jamal Jackson and Willow versus FNB and Brooke.
That was another good one. That was another good one. F&B had a really great match with Ricky Reyes this year. That was another one honorable mention. Yeah, Jackson had another really good match with William Wyeth this year. I thoroughly enjoyed that matchup. That was really good and one of the better ones. I personally and professionally, I enjoyed that matchup.
Yeah.
Other matches that I enjoyed Bailey and Asuka, that takeover that I saw live.
Yeah.
You know, I think the only WWE shows I went to, like I said, was Brooklyn and the MSG show. And for MSG, I pretty much already put all that over. So I'm basically rambling.
Honorable mention to Miz, Cesaro, Sami Zayn.
Oh, yeah!
And Kevin Owens for the Intercontinental title at
great
Extreme
match.
Rules.
Great match.
Also on that show was Ambrose and Jericho in that Ambrose Asylum match.
Yeah.
Where they had the bucket with the thumbtacks, and I think the whole match we were wondering why there was a bucket up there, and then the place erupted when the thumbtacks came out.
Yeah.
So I thought that show had three good matches.
Best wrestling program.
I would say SmackDown Live.
That's what I have. Yep.
As far as outside of WWE,
Can you really go with anything besides Lucha?
Not really. I mean, even though it's not as good as it's been the last 2 years, but I would say Lucha Underground.
Yeah, because Impact has had some good episodes, but consistency is their issue right now.
Yeah. I mean, TNA, I feel like I just tune in for anything that's Hardy's.
Anything Hardy's, right.
Yeah.
I think it's SmackDown, and that's it.
Yeah.
Best network special, which I'm glad you put that on there.
Documentary.
Yeah, documentary,
as far as
home video. Or
outside of WWE, I can't really count this as a video or a special. Or it was the Tony Schiavone Q&A from the Charlotte Fan Fest was amazing, and I keep putting it over. I have to send it to you. Just it was a lot of. It was just Tony Schiavone was unexpectedly hilarious, and it was really fun. As far as like documentary, I would say. I mean, I enjoyed the Bischoff DVD. I enjoyed the. I mean, I'd probably say the Razor DVD just because I'm more of a Razor Ramon fan.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was a lot of the stuff that was covered. I mean, because the Jake documentary didn't really cover Hall as much as it did Jake. So I thought it was nice to see Hall's story.
Yeah.
And, as far as what came out this year, I think those were like the two big documentaries.
Okay. For me, network-wise, it's tied between the ECW special.
Yeah, that was
the
good.
Panel one and Bischoff JBL.
Yeah.
The interview. Because that was just phenomenal.
I mean, pretty much any of the JBL legends, I would say.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I don't think there has been a bad one.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they've all been good.
The Michael Hayes one.
I really enjoyed the Booker T, the two parts for Booker. Medusa was good.
I heard the Hall and Nash one's really good, too.
Hall and Nash was really good, but that one was really good. They showed the footage from the court case with WWE when they were suing them for the characters. So they're always fun to listen to. I can't think of like any table for threes that were really out this year. I know there was one that recently came out, but I haven't seen it yet. The one with I think it was like Nikolai, Hacksaw, and Hillbilly Jim.
There was another Legends one with Steamboat, Hillbilly Jim, and Patterson. I didn't see that, but I heard that was good.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. The one with Booker T, R-Truth, and Goldust was hilarious.
With everybody has said that. The Big Man one was good with Big Show, Kane, and Mark Henry.
Yeah, that one's
really good.
Yeah.
That one's really good.
Especially those three that have been around for so long.
Non-network special, I have one, believe it or not.
Okay.
Well, non-WWE one. It's the one that kind of made me finally, fall in love with the show after hearing so much great stuff about it. But I feel like if you're into wrestling, or if you want to be in the wrestling business, or if you want an explanation of how things work, and just anyway, non-WWE, something to wrestle with Bruce Richard, and the episode is the WrestleMania 7 episode that came out.
Well, I was gonna give them. I was gonna just put them over as just my favorite podcast of the year.
Yeah. They're really killing it right now. Every year it's somebody different. When podcasts first happened, I still say Colt Cabana is the godfather of it all.
Yeah.
Then Austin came, blew it up. Jericho joined in, blew it up. Cornette, JR came in, blew it up. I feel like JR had the best one the year before. Mostly because of his guests and because he's a tremendous interview.
I would say Bruce. I would rank at the top. Although Apter just started he just started 2 months ago, but his is really good. Just because he incorporated, he formats it like you would format a magazine, and he incorporates all those old interviews from 40 years ago, whether it's Lou Albano, Freddie Blassie, Graham Wizard, Bruno, Killer Kowalski.
Right.
Every week he has a current. This week he had Bobby Eaton on, which was also a pretty good interview, considering he barely speaks, but. And I know he put his wife on, and his wife thanked The Rock for being the first one to tweet out when he went missing in the weekend of the Fan Fest in Charlotte.
Yeah.
So I would say Apter's up there. I would put Cornette up there, and just because his co-host wasn't that great prior to that, and he got a new host about a year ago. And he had a woman, and now he's got that guy, right?
Yeah,
and even he said it. He's said that the numbers have gone up since this guy came on. So, and I agree, it's a lot better with him. Sullivan and MSL, just because Sullivan goes back and reviews old Nitros. And right now they took a few weeks off just to catch up with the year. So now they're at the point where they're reviewing the '97 Nitros at kind of consistent with the current year.
Okay.
So they started with January '97 this year, so now it's pretty much what they're reviewing was exactly 20 years ago.
Okay, that's cool.
Those are my must listen to every week, and obviously I've been a fan of the Law for many years, so I'm consistent with those. That's my radio show, but I would put those over. As far as my podcast.
That's where
I feel a lot of people have podcasts nowadays. I'm enjoying Lance Storm's and Cyrus's podcast, Killing the Territory. Conan's podcast is fun. It's like a variety hour. It's kind of like Howard Stern, where there's just a lot going on, multiple interviews, multiple guests, but it's always a lot of fun.
Okay.
Even more recently, Lillian Garcia, X-Pac.
I heard X-Pac is really good.
Yeah, X-Pac is a lot of fun. He usually, especially if he brings on somebody he has history with, it's always a lot of hit. I would surprisingly, one of my favorite ones he did was the one with Lanny Poffo.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah, and I didn't realize how close he was to Randy. So that one was surprisingly a lot of fun, because I feel like I know the stories.
Oh well, yeah, I always do that. Plus, Randy got heat.
Mm-hmm.
Randy got heat for when he ran out of the commentary to go congratulate him and Jannetty.
Yeah.
Randy got heat for that, for leaving the commentaries table.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I would definitely put those over.
Non-wrestling personality.
I would put Danny O'Brien for WWE.
I knew you were going to go with Daniel Bryan, so I went with somebody else.
Okay.
Because I feel like he doesn't get enough credit. I went with Tom Phillips.
Okay.
I think he's awesome, and I thought that Daniel Bryan was the obvious choice, so I was like, well, who's the number two?
Tom Phillips is great, especially in those segments with Jericho and...
That's really why I picked him.
Yeah.
Because Renee is also another obvious choice. I think the girls are killing it right now, like Dasha Fuentes and Charlie Caruso.
All the beautiful brunettes.
Yeah, exactly. So I went with another beautiful brunette and Tom Phillips. So, best announcer and commentator.
Went with Corey Graves for WWE and Steve Corino outside of WWE.
I went with Michael Cole and Kevin Kelly.
Okay.
The two leads, and Kevin Kelly hates Michael Cole, so I found it funny that I went with them.
Best promo?
Best promo of the year, as in specific.
I would say Miz on Talking Smack.
I am here each and every week, but you sit there and call me a coward? Yeah. I'm the coward. Wait, let me tell you about a coward. Let me tell you about a guy who tells his WWE fans, the people that he loves, that he will be back. He promises them. I promise you, I will be back in 1 year's time to claim this title. But you didn't, Daniel, did you? But I'm the coward. Okay, I'm the one that doesn't love the fans.
If they would let me come back, I would come back.
Oh, if you would? Yeah. You would. You love that WWE ring. You love being wrestling. You love being right in that wrestling ring, and you love wrestling, right? Well, why don't you quit? Why don't you quit and go to the bingo halls with your indie friends?
Okay, I think you need to calm.
No,
that's not what this show's about.
The GM have this. Thank you very much, Renee. This is a great show, but we're talking here. I need to talk to you real quick because the fact is you're the one that calls me the coward, but you're the one that doesn't get in the WWE ring again. No, don't you walk away from me, Daniel. Don't you walk away. I'm the one that loves the fans. I'm the one that loves everyone and everything. You're the one that gets up and walks away every single time. You're the coward. I am not a coward. I am your Intercontinental Champion.
I actually went with the first time Cena and AJ went head-to-head.
John Cena. I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
I will say this, though. You kind of got kind of a bad rep. And I don't really understand that. Hear me out. I've always been told you were the first man to get to the arena and the last one to leave. I've seen what you've done in this ring. You've busted your tail day in and day out. And the things that you have done outside of this ring for this company is unheard of.
Oh my God, Anderson and Gallows have... What is wrong with these two? They're going to make names for themselves, and what a better way to do it than with John Cena and AJ Styles.
John Cena's big return. You come down and challenge John Cena for a fight. Here we go.
Cena and Styles, guys. Whoa. To the right hand. And Anderson and Gallows. 3-on-1 monkey. For the love of God, AJ Styles just punched Cena in the face.
Okay. That was a good one.
That's the one that I went with. Because to me, this year has really been all AJ Styles.
As far as out of WWE, I can't think of any. I guess if I had to think of one, I would say when Kenny Omega and the Bullet Club kicked AJ out.
AJ Styles, my God, you can't be surprised, can you? You people, you can't be surprised. You at home, you better not be surprised. You had this coming, AJ. We gave you the big matches. We gave you the big pay-per-views. We made you a star. We paid you like a star while I struggled, while I starved, forcing myself to be a junior. Everybody called you a leader. Everybody called you the boss. Well, AJ, if you were the boss, I'm just going to say it. You have now been fired.
The Bullet Club a year
ago?
That's
a good one. That's
a good one. That's the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
Oh, I got one. Now that you think about it, because this does count. Mm-hmm. Matt Hardy's promo at Ring of Honor to end the year.
Those of you, dear boys, that was quite the intoxicating matchup you just participated in. I don't know if you've known this, but myself and Brother Nero have been mandated to prove we are the greatest tag team in all of time and all of space. And that means we must come to ROH and render you ramshackle rednecks and you smut monkeys obsolete. Then we will, but reward next of you if myself and Brother Nero come to the honorable ring. We will delete your tag team title reign. Delete, 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 delete.
Are you kidding me?
Okay.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Who are we gonna watch in 2017?
For WWE, I'm gonna go with Braun.
I went with Baron Corbin.
Okay. Well, because I used him for
Corbin.
my best call up, and Braun wasn't a call up from NXT. As far as outside of WWE, I'm gonna say Matt Riddle.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, especially that last Evolve show I went to in September, he was really over. Like, every show I go to, he's more and more over, and he's improving a lot more considering he hasn't been a professional wrestler for that long.
Uh-huh.
And he's just improving, like, really, really quickly. So I would say, as far as who to watch, I would say him.
Okay. Outside of WWE, believe it or not, I went with Jay Lethal and Tama Tonga.
Okay.
I feel like the Bucks are gonna have a great year, but we're always talking about them.
Yeah.
And I feel like Okada's gonna have a great year, but if you're watching New Japan, you're always gonna talk about him too.
Yeah.
I think Tama Tonga is gonna grab the ball and run with it this year. Best pay-per-view of the year.
Most improved.
Oh, excuse me, most improved.
I would say I'll start with outside of WWE. I'll say Chris Hero. Because even the shows I've been to for Evolve, I've seen him. He's improved a lot, and so much so that he's been picked up again by WWE and is already back in NXT as Cassius Ohno. And as far as WWE, I can't think of anybody else besides The Miz. Match-wise and promo-wise, character-wise.
I'm gonna go with both of those answers. Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with both of those. Pay-per-view of the year. What did you go with? I'm really curious.
I would say the Brooklyn Takeover.
Okay.
And outside of WWE, I would say Final Battle, Ring of Honor.
Okay. I went with the Survivor Series.
Okay.
I went with the Survivor Series.
That would be
bottom.
that would be my WWE choice if it wasn't NXT.
Yeah, I went with the Survivor Series. Top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one for me would be, again, I haven't seen it yet, but just going by what I'm hearing, I'm going to go with Wrestle Kingdom over Final Battle.
Okay.
Which pains me to say that, but that's my choices.
Okay.
What do we got next?
Mark out moment of the year.
Oh, man. Go ahead. What are your picks?
For outside of WWE, I'm going to say Cody Rhodes' heel turn in Ring of Honor after his match with Jay Lethal.
Cody. Todd Sinclair and Jay Lethal just bumped heads. Oh, wait a minute! What the hell was that? Crossroads! Hey. That was a blatant foul!
Okay.
And for WWE, I would say the one moment that did make me mark out was AJ Styles in the Rumble.
Is it? Can it be? It is! The phenomenal one is here! AJ Styles! Oh my God!
Okay.
Which I was at your place for?
For non-WWE, I have Matt Hardy appearing at Ring of Honor.
Okay.
Because I saw it on YouTube the next day after I heard about it, and I truly did bug the fuck out.
Yeah.
Mind you, I had already heard about it, and I still bugged out.
Yeah.
For non-WWE, as in like indies and stuff, I have one. I'm actually about to embarrass myself because I feel like I need to tell this story before somebody else does and tells it wrong and exposes me. So I was at a show at the Ace Arena. Pro Wrestling Magic had rented the building, and they were doing their show there. And a wrestler was in the ring cutting a promo, doing the spiel, how great he is, blah, blah, blah. One of my, I love watching him work. Ness, he's a friend. And during his promo, he gets cut off, and a video package appears on the screens. And basically, this video package ended up with Gangrel's music, and they announced that it was going to be Gangrel and Ness at their next show.
Okay.
But me, because I heard Gangrel's music and thought he was going to come out, I started marking out like a little bitch. And little did I know that Mike Morgan is watching me the entire time, making fun of me, and still to this day has been making fun of me, even though this happened back in the springtime. So
yeah,
that was my markout moment. And for WWE, believe it or not, because the AJ one was the obvious choice, I'm going to go with Nikki Bella and Carmella, and how I marked out to how good of a match they had.
Okay.
Because that match was way better than I thought it was going to be. And much
which you were actually doing on the show. You were
I was
watching
just
for the
going to say
first
that
time.
next.
All right.
I was going to say that next because, which I don't think I ever watched the pay-per-view during the show. Cause
I never
like
thought
distracted.
Nikki Bella would beat AJ Styles in anything.
Yeah, well, she beat him at that. She beat him at that.
All right.
What do we got next?
Holy shit moment of the year.
I went with Shane diving off the cage.
Shane O'Mac is on top of Hell in a Cell.
Shane, don't do it.
You can't do this. Shane.
No. No. Oh, my God. Damn it, Shane. Stop it.
Shane, don't do
God,
this.
no.
Shane. No. Oh, my God.
God.
No. For the love of mankind. Shane just exploded through our table.
I went with the Goldberg and Brock match.
Shane O'Mac is on top of Hell in a Cell.
Shane, don't do it.
You can't do this. Shane.
No. No. Oh, my God. Damn it, Shane. Stop it.
Shane, don't do
God,
this.
no.
Shane. No. Oh, my God.
God.
No. For the love of mankind. Shane just exploded through our table.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think anybody saw that coming from a mile away.
I didn't, but I'm not surprised.
Uh-huh.
I'm not surprised by it.
Well, I think everybody went into that Hell in a Cell match expecting that Shane was going to do something crazy.
Well, hold on. That's bullshit. I am surprised because I did say on this show that Brock Lesnar that Goldberg beat the fucking biggest box office attraction of the last 5 years, and I was shocked.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I felt like the fact that those two girls had a awesome match was a bigger thing.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, I'm mixing the awards up. Actually, my vote for this in WWE was the Charlotte Sasha Falls Count Anywhere match.
Okay.
That was my where are we at? Holy shit moment still?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my holy shit moment.
And outside of WWE, I would probably say that the dog collar match between Jamal Jackson and FNB.
Yeah, that's another one. That without question.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're kind of coming off as biased, but
no, I mean, I'm not being biased because, like I said, for the Mikey Memorial match, when I was watching the match, I separated myself from those being my friends, and I felt it was, and I got emotionally invested in the match, and I wasn't even looking at them as watching my friends wrestle. It was just watching a match,
Yeah.
So, and I felt the same way with the dog collar match. So, I mean, I knew it would come across biased too, but that's my honest opinion. I feel if as far as like anything outside of WWE, I haven't seen any I mean, there might have been matches that were technically better, but no match got me emotionally invested like that one.
Well, yeah, and that show is driven by emotion and passion.
Yeah.
And those two gentlemen were able to give all the emotion and passion that they had.
Yeah.
In order to.
All right, that's enough putting them over.
But it was It was special.
Yeah.
It was special. Well, what do we have next?
Angle / storyline of the year.
Angle / storyline of the year for WWE for me, and it's the way the year ended. The John Cena AJ Styles rivalry.
All right. I'm going to say the list.
Ladies and gentlemen, attention please. It seems that we have a lost child at ringside. Would his parents please come and pick him up right now? Hey, you! Hey, you right over there, you know, you're a pretty weird-looking guy, you know that? You know what happens to weird-looking guys here on Raw? You know what happens, Vince McMahon, to weird-looking guys here on Raw? You just made the list! Oh, no!
The list? Okay.
And outside of WWE, I would say it was an Evolve show, the one where EC3 showed up at the end to help Drew McIntyre, and they were going to start this whole big TNA versus NXT feud in Evolve. And I thought it was just really well done that night. I mean, I think they had like a match in Florida. They had a tag match in Florida, but nothing really after that. But that angle itself was fucking amazing as far as like witnessing it live.
You want to make that next step? You want to get to the show everybody loves? Oh, we have great matches, compelling characters, great storylines, NXT, yeah. You know what makes a star? Survival. Try surviving, I don't know, obstacle courses, getting slimed, wheelbarrow races, 6-minute TV matches where you can't do any of your cool moves. And redemption points. Here we stand. A true success story of independence. Independence is not coddling to the machine. Independence is succeeding despite it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine, outside of WWE, and I'm surprised this wasn't your choice, is the whole broken Matt Hardy Brother Nero angle.
Okay.
I mean, that to me, and I'm not gonna lie, I got biased and I chose the AJ Cena thing because I'm huge fans of theirs, and it is like the WWE TNA wet dream.
Yeah.
But I just feel like the Brother Nero Matt Hardy thing outside of WWE, how is that not like the shit?
Yeah.
You know, that's just my opinion. Even though now Brother Nero has been released.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Feud of the year.
Charlotte and Sasha.
Charlotte and Sasha.
Charlotte and Sasha outside of WWE.
I can't really think of anything.
Me neither, to be honest with you.
That one's one of the few blank ones.
Yeah. I really, I kind of feel better now. Like, who really has been feuding? I just feel like wrestling, you don't really...
I mean, not to sound biased again, but I think Jamal Jackson and F&B had a pretty consistent feud throughout the year.
They had a really good feud.
Because I can't think of, like, as far as New Japan, I can't think of, like, as far as, like, even the Bullet Club or...
No, because New Japan, they just kind of book them, and then they have, like, match
the biggest
series.
feud that Bullet Club had was probably against Jay Lethal in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
So I'd probably go with that. Adam Cole and Jay Lethal, so I'd probably go with that one.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. I'll take that answer. I'll copy it.
Match of the year, I went with AJ Styles and Cena at SummerSlam.
The first Charlotte and Sasha match.
Raw?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one with the moonsault with brand split. That one.
I couldn't think of a match outside of WWE.
Outside
I would say
of WWE,
Omega and Naito in the G1. Kenny Omega and Naito.
Oh, I just realized that I've been saying he's been wrestling Okada now that you corrected me.
No, Okada. Well, Okada was this year. I'm saying as far as.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me think. Well, no, technically Jay winning was 2015 December, so. Outside of WWE, no, I don't have one right now.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. Actually, no. You know what? That's a lie. That is a lie because I did see this match, the Bucks and the Briscoes at Final Battle.
Okay.
That match I did see, and
With
that
the
match
85
was good.
super kicks.
Yeah.
Tag team of the
Super
year.
kick, super kick, super kick, super kick. I saw that.
Tag team of the year.
New Day.
I went with the Revival.
I had to go New Day just because I kind of that all around factor.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that the Revival's not entertaining or anything like that, but if you put that into play, then you can't go with any other team.
I mean, I don't think the New Day was as good as they were last year. Also, they did. I feel like anytime. I mean, even Daniel Bryan pointed this out on Talking Smack. Which, okay, I'm gonna put Talking Smack as my favorite network show. I'll go back. He even said that they lose any match that's not a title match.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I thought the Revival was just consistent throughout the year as far as putting on amazing matches. Whether it be with Alpha.
I feel like the New Day was as well.
All right.
If you look at the last 6 months of the year,
it's funny. I would have swore we would have gone with the opposite choices. I feel like you would have gone with Revival, and I would have gone with New Day.
I had to go with New Day. I felt like it was the right thing to do them.
And outside of WWE, I'm gonna say the Broken Hardys.
Yeah, I think their singles match at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
I agree.
Female superstar of the year. We can start with outside of WWE first.
Outside of the WWE.
I'm going to go with Santana Garrett just because she's doing her thing all over the world, in Japan and in the Indies, and even in NXT a few times. So I'm going to go with Santana Garrett.
Outside of WWE, that's tough for me. I'm actually going to go with, even though I only saw her work on that Monday Night Raw, because her match was short, so I saw it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But I have been seeing her Ring of Honor stuff on YouTube. Scarlett Bordeaux.
Okay.
Bordeaux, whatever. I just know she's hot.
Yes.
So, yeah, so I'm going to go with her.
And, I mean, pretty much hands down, WWE.
Female? Are we going to go there? Yeah, female?
Yeah.
Well, what's your choice, Ronald?
I know everybody thinks I'm going to choose Nikki Bella, but I'm going to tell you why not, because she was out most of the goddamn year. She came back in August.
Okay.
And and nobody's on the level of Charlotte this year. So
Absolutely.
I couldn't go with anybody else but Charlotte.
Absolutely.
And for all the marks out there, Sasha Banks got an award from me this year, and Nikki Bella didn't.
Thank you.
So nobody can say I'm biased. See, all right, if I can, nobody can accuse me of shit, because Sasha Banks got Feud of the Year with Charlotte, and Nikki didn't win anything.
Yep,
Nikki
that's right.
Wins my heart.
Exactly, and that's the biggest prize of them all.
Exactly. So yes, Charlotte, hands down, female of the year. She's improved on the mic, in the ring, looks
on
wise,
the dance floor.
Everything. She's perfect. I
Yep.
don't have any complaints.
I don't need to say anything. That's my pick, and those are my reasonings. I don't need to say anything. Charlotte all the way, baby.
Male superstar of the year.
Okay. In the WWE, I went with AJ Styles.
I also went with AJ Styles.
I went with AJ Styles, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
Think of the year that man had, top to bottom.
Well, just think, he started the year at Wrestle Kingdom facing Nakamura for the Intercontinental title.
Yep.
Later that month, debuted in the Rumble. Feuded with Jericho. Faced Jericho at Mania. After that, feuded with Roman for the title.
Mm-hmm.
Feuded with Cena.
Yep.
Went on to feud with Ambrose. Won the WWE Championship. I mean, can you top that?
I don't think you can.
Yeah.
Well,
and even 2 weeks prior to the year starting, he was in the main event of Final Battle against Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
So how many, I think Cody right now is the only guy to do all of those and TNA Bound for Glory within the same year.
Yeah. Great choice. Great comparison for that too. That you brought that up. Great comparison.
Yeah.
I just feel like overall, in and out of wrestling,
and even on the mic, he's improved.
I just feel like nobody overall, in and out of the WWE, has had the year that AJ Styles has.
Exactly.
Hands down. I just feel like there is.
Because even if you want to throw in that match with Jay Lethal, that from Final Battle, which probably didn't make the year by like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yep. By almost exactly 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I just feel like not one wrestler on the planet had a year like AJ.
Yeah.
There's just no comparison in the consistency.
Have they done the PWI 500 this year? Was he number one?
Was
it him or Owens?
I think wouldn't the 2016 one come out a little bit before spring?
Maybe.
I was gonna say I think it's about two to 3 months early.
Okay.
So, but he's got to be number one.
Yeah.
He's got to be number one. You know, for the second time, by the way. Not in a year, but you know, he was number one. What was that? 2009 or 10?
It had to be one of those 2 years because those were his best years prior to now.
Yeah, because he was
that was his best. That was his best TNA, like his best TNA years.
Yeah, because he was still in TNA and he was the first. He was also labeled as, well, not labeled as, it was true. He was also the first non-WWE guy to be number one.
Okay.
I remember that. He got a lot
No,
of...
was he number one? The first, when Malenko when he won it?
What happened?
Wasn't Malenko the PWI number one?
Then I guess of the modern era, because I remember AJ was getting a lot of pull for that. AJ Styles, PWI.
Because Malenko was WCW when I don't know. It's always been a
Oh,
WWE
Malenko was number one in like 97, right?
Yeah. But it's always been a WWE guy?
Since WCW closed.
No, well, I think 2010 was Miz, because that was the year he was champ. Or 2011.
Let's see. This is PWI 500. Here we go. Which started in 91, and the first one was Hogan.
Okay.
All right, so let me go back. This is the female one. Yep, I was right. AJ Styles for 2010.
Okay, so then Miz would have been
Last
11.
year was Roman Reigns, and I actually remember the cover. The cover was Roman with the caption, "You're going to hate us for this, but he's number one."
I mean, kayfabe-wise, yeah, he was.
And I was correct. Dean Malenko won in 1997. So from 1998 all the way to 2010.
Okay, so the first time in like
almost
20 years.
Yeah, correct. It was all... Yeah, 98 to 2010 would be how long? Not 20 years.
12. Wow.
12. And then, yeah, so from 98 to 2010, it was all WWE guys. And then AJ won in 2010. Miz won in 2011. And, yep, correct. It was Punk, then Cena, then, of course, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, and then Roman. Okay. And then the 2016 Woman of the Year was, in fact, Charlotte.
Okay.
No woman has won PWI Woman of the Year twice.
She won the year before?
Huh?
She won last year, too?
No, I'm saying no woman has won twice in general.
Oh, okay.
Awesome Kong was the first one, then Mickie James.
Okay.
Then Michelle McCool, then Madison Eagles, whoever the fuck that is.
Madison Eagles?
Then Gail Kim, then cheerleader Melissa, then Paige, then Nikki, and then Charlotte.
Yeah, Nikki. All right.
Yeah. So, she's from Australia.
Okay.
Trained by Quackenbush and Cesaro. So yeah, that covers the awards. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, agreements, disagreements, please let us know on social media. If they want to do that, Bosch, how they would go about that?
At 4Life Podcast.
That's right. And at 4Life Podcast, what exactly does that cover social media wise?
Twitter and Instagram, and Facebook.com/4lifepodcast.
Yeah. And what about some of the products that we carry? Some of the fantastic products that we carry.
www.redbubble.com/people/4lifepodcast.
That's fantastic. And if people want to get in touch with you on social media, how do they go about that?
And go fuck themselves. No, at I am the Bosch man.
Great. We would like to say that was a joke, and we don't want y'all to go fuck yourselves. Okay, just saying. Bosch has turned heel to start the year off.
Just turned heel.
Yeah, Bosch is well continuing his year.
Yeah.
Just a couple people that I wanna plug before we wrap up what I felt to be a very comprehensive and entertaining episode. Check out Kayfabe Cover Kingdom. That is actually the new name of the gentleman that I've been plugging for a few weeks.
I was trying to look
for
him to tag him, and he changed his name, and I couldn't find him.
Yeah, he is now Kayfabe Cover Kingdom. He's doing awesome work. He's got new logos.
He's been doing covers for all the 95 pay-per-views.
Yeah, he's up to 95
so
now.
I've been seeing those and marking out. Just because 95 was around the time I started watching, so I've been marking out like, oh shit, those are nice.
And he'll be coming out with a Redbubble store soon. I wonder where he got that advice from. Please be sure to follow him on Instagram. And he's an awesome guy from the Bay Area over there in San Francisco. Awesome guy, great to work with. Great. If you need anything
he recently started following me too, so...
Yeah, if you need anything for graphic design, if you need anything for websites, T-shirts, gear, whatever you need, that's the guy to go to.
I think we should go. You want to go with the NWA look for this week's podcast cover?
Yeah, let's end the show with that. I think that's great for this year's cover, rather.
Yeah.
Also, check out Seth at sspoker100@gmail.com. He has a whole catalog of wrestling shows that he carries. Mainstream wrestling shows. So if you're looking for things like ECW TV, NWA, ECW on Sci-Fi, if you're looking for old WWF superstars, if you're looking for old WWF tapes that are not edited, unlike the ones on the WWE Network, that is the guy to go to. Once again, his name is Seth at sspoker100@gmail.com. Say again.
These are to order?
Yeah, these are to order.
Cool.
These are to order, and then I guess you would get the covers from my buddy at Kayfabe Kingdom. So that's kind of how it works.
Together?
And he has, yeah.
Oh,
kinda,
okay, so
like
he does
that.
the covers, and the other guy does, okay, cool.
Correct.
Right.
And again, can't stress how great work. And then, for us wrestling fans, and we've talked about this on the show several times, there's just some shows that we want to watch with the VHS all squiggly and the original music and no editing.
Well, like I sent you guys in the group, I sent you guys the original DX home video, uncensored one.
Yes.
I tried to put it on YouTube, but they took it down, so I just sent it.
I never had it on VHS. I had the re-release version.
Oh no, I have the re-release, but I got the re-release one just because it came with matches, and it had my favorite match of all time, Shawn versus Hunter for the European title.
I can't believe that's your favorite match of all time. You're ribbing me, right? That's a rib?
Yeah, that's my rib favorite match of all time.
Okay, just making sure.
And but the VHS, the original, I got that when I was like 12 when it first came out, and it's like uncensored cursing, all this crazy shit. I remember watching it at 12. I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to be watching this. Fuck it. And I still have the VHS somewhere. I don't know if the VHS is with all my VHSs upstate. I mean, not upstate in Pennsylvania, but I do have a digital version, which I sent to you guys and also to TFA. So,
yeah, that one. I've seen it, but only
the censored one.
Yeah, only the re-released version of that.
It's a fun one.
Which is still a great DVD for the extras at least.
I was so pissed when I ordered it.
Tag matches is on that.
Yeah.
One of my favorite tag matches on that, the No Way Out tag match.
Oh yeah, that one's great. Yeah, that one's good. The DVD version that came out in 2006 is good for the matches.
Yeah,
especially at that time when we didn't have access to all those matches on the network.
Yeah, of course.
So those were a lot of rare matches. Like where were you going to find that No Way Out 8-man tag, or the goofy European title match, or like I know there was a lot of good matches. I know there was like Owen versus Shawn, like Shawn Mank, like a lot of those matches from Raw. That like I mean that was even like pre-SmackDown, so a lot of those matches weren't available anywhere else. So that was pretty much the hook for me to buy the DVD because I already had the uncensored version.
Yes.
So.
A couple more that I got to get out there. I want to tag my my staycation bay, Vanessa and her show. She's got the Kylie and V podcast. They're available on iTunes. Definitely check them out. She's getting into doing some interviews and stuff. They have zero filter, and they provide a very, very entertaining podcast. So big shout out to them. I also want to shout out, if you're into action figures, definitely check out a guy, Beast Nation 2007. His name's James. He's got an Instagram page, and that's the page there. He does custom action figures, commission jobs, and just custom work. He's great at that. If you're into like the again action figures like I am, he does customs. He does commission jobs. He does just really just beautiful work. Also, Showstopper Customs on Instagram also does beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I mean, transfor fucking mations of action figures. I'm telling Bosch specifically now to follow that guy so you can see some of the shit that he comes up with. He is Showstopper Customs.
On Twitter?
No, everything's Instagram.
Okay.
Everything I'm yipping about is Instagram right now. The guy has taken, like, for example, here's a great example, not to kind of spoil anything. He took the head of a King Kong Bundy action figure, right?
Yeah.
And turned that into a Nails action figure.
Okay.
Took the head of a Ryback and turned that into Hercules Hernandez. Took the head of Paul Heyman and turned that into Frenchie Martin. Okay? He painted by hand, head to toe, Kurt Angle from his attire against Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Unforgiven attire.
Yeah.
Head to toe. He's done the 2K Ultimate Warrior head to toe. Most of the current Dolph Zigglers, Hollywood Hogan's, Randy Savage's, the Killer Bees. He's done his own version of the Rockers. I mean, you name it, he's done it. He's phenomenal. I think that's everybody that I wanted to shill, plug, and mention. I think that's all.
I mean, I'll plug the guy that made my custom Hasbro, which is at Wrestling Figures on Twitter.
Okay, I actually have to add him.
Yeah.
So now that you say that, Wrestling Figs
at Wrestle Figures.
Wrestle Figures. Okay, I was like, I have Wrestling Figs.
Yeah, no, at Wrestle Figures, and the name is Custom Figures.
Wrestle Figures 101. Him.
I don't know about Instagram. This is on Twitter.
Oh, on Twitter. Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotta log into that shit then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just covered everybody that I'm plugging and shouted out and mentioned and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And if you listen to the show and you want to be on here, come talk to us. Get us a commercial.
Yeah.
Something. Let us know. Let's work together. Okay?
Yeah, definitely.
We've all got to support each other. Okay? All right. Love grows 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, and 4 by 4. All right? Remember that, guys. Okay? What? Something funny, Bosch?
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay. Thank you. And if you're into karaoke, come check me out next week. I'm going to be doing my greatest hits or somebody else's greatest hits because obviously they're not my songs. Charlie White. Yeah. So be there for that. I'm out of shit. I don't got nothing left up my ass, so I don't know what to pull up out of there. What do you got?
We should throw some of our performances on next week's episode.
I think so, even though I'm going to regret that.
Do it. Fuck it.
Yeah, we'll put it on there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to catch us next week when we are talking Royal Rumble predictions. We're talking Monday Night Raw. We're talking SmackDown. We're talking more New Japan stuff. We're talking more plugs. We're talking more hugs. And most importantly, we're talking, you're listening, but when you're listening to your podcast, you're listening to it for life.
We belong.